So after a bit of a struggle to get out of the gate, the C8 Corvette has hit the streets. It's on YouTube, it's being modified, people are putting exhaust on it already, as you can hear, which sounds amazing. But there's still a lot of people waiting on those orders. Obviously with everything going on right now, production has stopped. The orders for 2020 were only partially filled. The rest of them are going to be filled for 2021. So there's still people out there waiting. Please wait patiently. I know everyone is in a frantic about pretty much everything right now, but they are going to be completed. Although the big variants such as the ZORRA, the ZR1, Z06, Grand Sport, who knows what else they're coming out with, are still yet to be released. But at least now we have an idea of those release dates and what they're going to be packing under the hood. Or trunk. Whichever. Either way, we got a great idea what's going on now. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with an automotive journalist named Don Sherman over at Haggerty. Now, he was the very first person to ever report the mid-engine Corvette project. He's been on top of the C8 Corvette from the beginning, and now he's released a new document, or memo, however you want to word it, on all those other variants, the horsepower, the platforms, the release dates, everything like that. So we're going to take a look at that. So let's jump right into that. So here's a quick glance of the memo that was leaked out on all the other variants. This shows specs of the C8 Corvette Convertible, the Z06, the Grand Sport, the ZR1, and the ZORRA. So we're going to take these one step at a time, starting with the first one on the list, and that is the C8 Corvette Convertible. This one is for 2021, and as you can see, it is going to be the same 6.2 liter LT2 V8 that's currently in the C8 now. Horsepower is going to vary 490 to 495 horsepower, depending on if you get that active exhaust. And then you get 465 pound-feet of torque or 470 again with the active exhaust. So don't expect huge changes as far as the powertrain is concerned with the 2021 C8. But there are changes coming from standard packages for the interior. The magnetic ride is now going to be a standalone option. You do not have to get the Z51 package in order to get the magnetic ride. Now, do you remember the spy video that was leaked about a year ago, give or take, maybe a little less, of the C8 Z06 running around the canyons in California? We got to hear that flat plane crank V8 and it sounded amazing. If you haven't, here it is. Sounds good, right? Now that's the next variant of the C8 Corvette to come out in 2022. According to the memo, the specs on that is going to be running a 5.5 liter, 32 valve dual overhead cam, flat plane crank V8 with 650 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque. Now that is the same 5.5 that they're running in the C8R. Obviously, they're going to tune it differently, and this thing they say is going to rev anywhere from 8,000 to 9,000 RPM. Now, that is speculation. There is no confirmation on that, but obviously, with a flat plane crank, they rev really high. Now, the Shelby GT350R is also a flat plane crank, and it revs to, I believe, 8,200 RPM. So that's no slouch. That's a lot of RPMs to play with, especially for a street car. Now, I know that horsepower isn't off the charts. It's pretty much on par with the outgoing C7 Z06, but you have to take into consideration the new platform and the added traction you're going to get with it. You're going to use that 650 horsepower way more than you would have been able to use it in a C7. All right, so moving down the list, we have the C8 Grand Sport. This is the next variant to come out in 2023. This is said to have a 6.2 liter, 16 valve pushrod LT2, much like the standard, or should I say base C8 Corvette has the pushrod engine. This is the same thing, but a hybrid all-wheel drive. Now this all-wheel drive variant will get 600 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. Now if that is true, that really mixes up the game. We continue to have a pushrod engine with all-wheel drive and a hybrid system, with almost the same horsepower as the Z06. With that being said, and it being a hybrid system, I'm a little shocked that the torque on it isn't a little bit higher. It says 500 and the base C8 has 470 with the sport exhaust. So we're not that far off, and normally with a hybrid system you get a lot more torque. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Moving down the list is the big one, the ZR1. Now they're saying this is coming out in 2024. This one also gets the 5.5 liter 32 valve dual overhead cam flat plane crank LT7. Now this is also getting a set of twin turbos, putting out a total of 850 horsepower and 825 pound-feet of torque through a rear-wheel drive platform. Now this is something I find pretty cool because you not only get that high revving flat plane crank engine, but you're also getting a set of twin turbos on it. So you have a lot of RPM to play with to build boost. And now for the one you've all been waiting for, the ZORRA model. This one is to be released in 2025. Also getting the 5.5 liter twin turbo 32 valve dual overhead cam LT7 that is in the ZR1. But this is getting a hybrid assist with 1,000 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. Now to maximize that horsepower, you're going to get all-wheel drive, just like the Grand Sport. Now this is the model that is going to rotate the earth on its axis. This is going to be an absolutely insane car. 1,000 horsepower, all-wheel drive, twin turbo, I mean with almost the same amount of torque. I can only imagine what this thing is going to be if on a launch control. It's going to be absolutely insane. Even with all-wheel drive, I'm suspecting it's going to have some tire spin. And where's your 0 to 60 going to be? I mean, the C8 now is doing 0 to 60 in, what, 2.8? I think I heard was the best one we found so far. I think maybe somebody hit 2.7, but I think that might be exaggerated. What are we going to do? We're going to hit like 2.0, 1.9? I mean, it's going to be absolutely nuts. But this car, I mean, we're still 5 years out. All right, so we got a long way to go. Details can change dramatically in that time frame. So let's not hold anything down for, you know, concrete here. But it is going to be awesome to see 1,000 horsepower all-wheel drive variant of a Corvette. Now, since all this information is coming originally from Haggerty's Don Sherman, who has been, like I said, on top of the C8 news from day one, and also being reported by Muscle Cars and Trucks, I find them to be an extremely reliable source. So I want to report this with as much confidence as I can, but there is still a long way out, which allows for a lot of changes in the process. And still, this is not concrete information. Is it good information? Yes, I do believe it is good information. Not concrete, but I do believe it's very good. But I don't want to get too excited about all these other variants yet because, again, the 2020 models haven't even been fully filled yet. I mean, there's still a lot of people waiting for their base model C8 Corvette. The 2020s that are going to be pushed back to 2021. Now, 2021, you're going to get small little changes, nothing big. Like I said, the Magna Ride and all that stuff is going to be a standalone option. You don't have to get the Z51 package with it. Sorry, it's early. I need my coffee. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So we don't know when the time frame of this is actually going to be, if it's 100% accurate or if it's going to get pushed back because of everything going on. But it's definitely super exciting news, so definitely drop your comments down below on what you think of all the variants. What's your favorite? I know you're all going to pick the ZORRA. Let's be honest. You're going to pick the ZORRA as your favorite. But, you know, I think, honestly, truth be told, for a street car, unless you're going to the track, I mean, if you're a track guy, that changes everything. I think the best option for a street car is going to be the Z06 or the Grand Sport. The Grand Sport being the all-wheel drive version. That kind of horsepower, that kind of traction, I think that's going to be your best bet. The ZR1 is definitely awesome with way more horsepower. Rear-wheel drive, I mean, it's nice. I think the usable power, though, and I'm going to emphasize usable power, is going to be with the Z06 and the Grand Sport. Throw your comments down below. Which one do you like? Which one would you pick? And of course, as always, hit that like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Catch you on the next video.